Welcome to the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neal.
And this is Annabelle Lecter.
And we're joined by the returning Fabio Frizzi. It's an honor to have you back.
How about you guys? Everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How is the weather today over there?
Oh, it's finally getting cool. It was brutally hot, and now it's getting nice. The nights are pretty cool. Days are pleasant.
Okay,
not sweating your butt
today
off.
in Rome, it's really windy because you know that we had a terrible summer. I mean, fantastic, but only sun, so hot, and those days a little rain. Today, a lot of wind, and maybe Christmas will arrive one day.
Well, very good. Well, yeah, it's nice here. I think you'll enjoy the weather when you're here, and you get to see the cake eventually.
Yeah. Okay.
So, for people who are going to come see you at Brookline, what can they expect from Frizzi Fulci performance at Coolidge after midnight?
This is coming back to a place I love so much, because we met with my band, the Coolidge corner, for the first time in 2017. It was the second time we came in the United States, and I knew that it was a very important place, culture, cinema, old stories. And I know that everywhere I speak about the Coolidge in the United States, everybody says, wow, because it's really a reference point for many people. And for example, my friend Eli wrote, he grown in that city, in Boston, and he said it was my basic cinema where I met a lot of good movies. Yeah. So let's say that now I have also some good friends over there, and when they knew that I was around for a few days, they told me, "Why don't you come again here?" And for me, it was really so beautiful to hear, and also because the last time. 3 years ago, just before the COVID, we were there for the Beyond Composer's Cut, the screening with the music, the live music. So Frizzi Fulci was. It's some days we don't go there playing this. So it was returning with something new, and then you know when you go back to something you can call home, it's always so beautiful. So. I really hope that we all enjoy a lot.
Yeah, I was at that one. It was a great experience watching you guys perform live while the movie was playing.
And I can tell you, in 1 year, one each, that I'm preparing another bomb. You can imagine also which one. And I'm working on it since the beginning of the COVID, because the Beyond was something. Zombi 2 is something else, because in Beyond I could write without the original music. So when we screened, the movie was clean and we could play on. Now I'm ending this new adventure, but the problem was that I could not find a copy of the movie without the music, the original music. So, but it was, when there is something difficult, sometimes it's also better. You have to bet on something. So I'm writing on the old music, writing a new music that gets together and begins something else. So my friends, my fans will love, but it's really something. Very new, very interesting, very difficult also to play, and I can anticipate to you that the first song, the first track we will do in Boston will be one scene that everybody knows, because this is one of the most typical scene of Lucio. the eye, you know, the eye with the piece of the
shard, yeah. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
No, not the shark. The shark is another, but no, I mean
like a shard of wood on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And this is, it would be something
on my shirt, actually, right here.
Yeah. That one. And this is, I don't know if you can come over there to see the concert, but it would be really something. I hope, let's say, revolutionary. I mean, something new in the field of the old music, because I have the old music as a base, but it's something very, I hope, very interesting.
Yeah.
Is this the film? I can't recall. There was one film that I'd heard in a different interview that Fulci was like, no, this music is not okay. So can you now bring in, with the music that you're doing now, the ideas you had in the past that you couldn't use?
No. Let's say with Lucio, you know, the Zombie Flesh Eaters, or as we want to call it, was his first horror movie. Let's say that it was the first. Lucio was an horror man always, no, because in every movie of that since 75, there was also before 70, there was something, an idea of horror, but in a comedy, in a giallo, in Zombie was really the first. So everybody of us were quite, what will we do? And but in the end, I think that I did not write so much music. There are 3-4 themes, but he used in a fantastic way the percussion, the things. So many of them become important, loved, and this is more or less my story. No, they became something important in my story.
When you would write the music for Zombie or for other films, do you get to see the film in advance so you can actually write it to what's happening?
Yes, I think it's impossible to write the music if you don't. Obviously the script is very important. You enter in the situation, but if you ever want to have the real feeling, you have to see what's happening, And sometimes then, because nowadays cinema has changed a lot. It's so difficult to do work like we did then. But sometimes I used also to go on set to meet people, to talk about, to eyes in the eyes, and it's also white eyes in the Beyond. But it was better because you enter the mood, and then it's possible. It's easier to have an idea.
Yeah,
I think I heard you say, was trying to catch up on what questions you've been asked or what questions haven't been asked, and but this idea of you being an actor yourself, like you have a huge part in this. Here's the film, here's the feeling, here's the setup. You are a performer.
Let's say that I think that the real, this is let's say cinema philosophy, but it's like, in fact, it's like this. You cannot imagine, for example, a Sergio Leone movie without the music of Ennio. And if you say da 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 da, you are there immediately. So I think there is something. I was reading your questions, and there was one I want to introduce. Just you were asking me. Zombie usually are slow. No, I am for a slow zombie.
Right, the zombies themselves. Yeah.
And you were asking me how music, and I realized in my terrace, smoking my cigar, that in fact, very often the music for a movie, it's like a dance. Think of it. If the music doesn't go the same rhythm as the scene, as the movie, it doesn't go well. I mean, this is the first choice you, the director or the producer, has to do, because it must be absolutely together. So I'm looking at the you remember the scenes in Zombie 2 where they come out from the ground. It's incredible scene. I don't know how they could do something like this, so beautiful, so magic. But in that situation, it's like a dance. And this is maybe the real mystery, no, of linking the music with, like, everywhere. When there is a good idea and they get together very well, you cannot divide, you know. Yeah. Somebody says, Lucio, some movies from Lucio wouldn't be the same without your music, my music. And obviously, it's something that I appreciate. But in fact, it's a little bit like this. I could not imagine the scene of Zombie with another theme, maybe better than mine.
It's an iconic theme. It is. You've made an iconic theme for this movie, that these things, like you're saying, they join together the way they need to make the scene work. Yeah, absolutely. It's something magic, because before you cannot imagine that something will go like this, but afterwards it's great. Yeah,
I noticed earlier you did call it Zombie 2. Now, do you consider it Zombie 2 or Zombie? It's kind of a debate.
Yeah, no, but you know, when you go around in the world and you speak with French people, Spanish people, everybody has his idea. For example, in London, it's zombie flesh eaters, not else. Yeah. But it's my zombie. It's my fantastic zombie.
Yeah. Now it's considered the sequel to Dawn of the Dead. So when you were doing the score, did you watch Dawn of the Dead? And is there any influence from the music in Dawn of the Dead on yours?
No, in fact, no. Also, if I was friends with Claudio, Fabio Pignatelli, the Goblin. But in that situation, I was thinking that till that moment, we just did something for our Bixio production, the one who gave us the possibility to start just before. Then they did Profondo Rosso with Dario. Then the Romero movie. But for a while we lost each other. Then I came back with working in particular with Fabio Pignatelli, the bass player, and Agostino Marangolo, one of the drummers. After for example, for Beyond, for City of the Living Dead. But in that moment, no, Zombie was, it was not easy to imagine to figure out how to do, and this is for that there is just one theme, very melodic, that one, and then there is something crazy for the eye, and then there is a lot of percussion for the forest, for the for the voodoo idea, no? But very, very, very easy. I thought I tried to inspire from Mike Oldfield, many people I loved, but in a while it came out by itself, and it does not have, as in that situation, many links with the Goblin. Maybe after we influenced each other a little bit.
I have a question to follow up with that about working with other people.
Yeah.
Originally, when you were getting started, was it mostly you? Here's a composer, I'm doing these things. Did the other musicians that came in, did they have their own ideas that they brought in, or were they just, here these people are, they're playing the instruments, they're doing what they need to do? And then how has that changed over time? Is it different with different people? How much do you enjoy collaborating with other people?
Let's say that my birth, professionally speaking, was with a trio. Maybe you know. I met Franco Bixio and Vince Tempera. We had the trio Bixio, Frizzi, Tempera, and then we met also Lucio in that moment. it's a state of mind. If you, I won't try with my terrible English to explain to you my real thought. I love working with other people because I started like this, and it was 5 years of great collaboration. They are still great friends of mine, Franco and Vincenzo. But the artist is one day in one way, another day in another way. Let's say that the great thing, the great beautiful thing then in the 70s and 80s was that arranging was not like I do nowadays. Nowadays I write everything. Then we go, we do rehearsals. So I have a super band, maybe you remember, they're really great. But my idea nowadays, and since my 40s, is that if you write everything as your idea, then you can change, you can arrange when you go, no, because, for example, there is Roberto Fasciani, my bass player, is a great musician. And sometimes he says, Fabio, we could do that. Why not? If the idea of music obviously starts, then it changes a little bit day by day. Also in new edition of a song. For example, yesterday, I was just, this morning, I was rehearsing with myself because the day after tomorrow we have the last rehearsals together. And then there is something that I put in the theme of Zombi, a counter melody that I never played. It was just an idea, and I will do it because it's something that comes nowadays in 2022. Okay, there is something new. This is the beauty of the music. Now that the very important thing is that this gives you an emotion, and everybody can put something in that emotion.
That's lovely. I think that's fantastic because some people are they're very hard about this is my creation and this is that, and that's fine for them. But it seems like it's like the music is alive. Yeah, when you can work on it with other people. That's wonderful.
Maybe you don't know that because it's we never met so long before. But also talking about the people who plays during my first violin, I always told a composer without good musicians is nothing. Because the idea can be beautiful, but you need somebody who give an interpretation. And in the interpretation, there is his life, his problems, his beauties, and everything comes. And that is the magic of playing together, of realizing. This is, and this for that, 71, but I'm still a baby when I do music.
How hands-on is the director usually when you're writing the music? Do they like, I want this like a certain way, or do they usually just let you handle that?
Obviously, it depends. Depends from people, situation. Depends if you are a loved musician, or maybe the director took you just to take somebody. No, but I mean, it's always different. I think that the responsibility of somebody who writes music for a movie is to enter the movie. One of the things I always say to young musician composers, if you want to do this job, you cannot fall in love for one of your music, your theme. I mean, you play something, so beautiful, I love it. Then you go and maybe with the image, with the scene doesn't work, or maybe the director say, this is not what I want to say to my audience. So you must be elastic. You must understand. And I think that in everything in life, yes, if you are just alone on an island, you have to decide what to eat, obviously. But if you are two, you can decide fish or something else. I mean, the beauty of the life is always to what we said before. So one thing that I don't like, but you can imagine, is the template music, because sometimes when you arrive recently, they respect me because I am an old man. So maybe sometimes they keep off, but they have to because the template, it's useful to edit the movie. If you don't have a rhythm, the editor, how can he imaginate? And it's very difficult. So I understand, but sometimes the template gives you the wrong way to follow, because there is a rhythm, so sometimes I did it. I mean, give me the template and I follow more or less the path, but it's something that artistically is not so beautiful to live.
Mm-hmm. I was listening to the Puppet Master.
Yeah.
Before you did, and I'm wondering if that fits with that, because I think it is wonderful. I really, for a Puppet Master movie, which are kind of, fun, but the scoring is so beautiful for what Puppet Master is. And that has, and if I'm understanding you correctly, there is kind of a template. They have their theme. There's a theme that's recognizable, something to work with. So how is that working with, this is an already established thing. But
you see, in that situation, there was something quite interesting, because I had to deal with I don't remember the name, but he was the one who had done the script, and I don't remember in this moment. But he was a very clever guy. So we talked a lot, because I didn't want to go in a too much different direction. For example, maybe you remember the title theme. It's a valser in the line of what was the original. It was Charles Band, I think, had written. And that man told me, when I sent him the Provino, the demo tape, he told me, Fabio, this is the 10th of Puppet Master, and many other composers tried to do something in that line. And he told me, this is the most beautiful song in that. So for me, it was really a gift, no? And nowadays I do it in concerts sometimes, and everybody say, "Wow!" But obviously, Puppet Master is like a comedy in a way, no? But I was very happy to do that, also because it was the way to go back to something I loved so much.
I'm sure people ask you all the time to score their film. So what goes into your choices? Like, what would interest you? You mean choose a movie? If someone was asking you a movie.
No, let's say it's. I always say that. More or less, it's a life that follows you. It's so difficult to, maybe if you are John Williams, if you are maybe, but maybe also they have many, come si dice, they are conditioned from what I mean. You walk on your way. And there is somebody who says, we are doing a comedy, we are doing a movie, and you choose among the most important thing I follow is the weight of I mean not weight money, the personal weight people that are offering to me, because if I like this, I can follow that situation. Obviously, nowadays it's so difficult to choose because there is a lot of television, and this is another kind of work. Also, if I did it a lot in Italy, but it's not the movie. The movie is something 1.5 hours. It's a story with many ideas that are always the same dimension. I mean, it's a story that you tell in a certain way in front of a big screen. But okay, that's life. We go ahead and we try to do the best we can.
Mm-hmm. You said in Zombie was kind of like you consider the music a dance when they're rising out of the grave. So, what goes in your mind when you're doing something more violent, like the eye scene?
I always tried to go against the usual idea that the music for horror for giallo must be cruel, but must be heavy. Obviously, if we need a rock song or something, we take drums and bass and we do it. But I think I always follow the idea of the give always something personal. I mean, it's logical that if there is a battle, you have to choose something more heavy. But it's also logical that you must enter every character and live with them, finding what you need. Obviously, more or less, one movie has 35 tracks. More or less. In Italy, I mean, in America, it was all full of music. In Italy, a little less. In 35 tracks, you have many dishes of different foods, obviously. But the thing I love the best is when you have to tell something that is not so clear, that is under. And I love so much to describe this kind. Fear.
I was listening to the pieces and the music from that, and it's so diverse. And there's a song that's a country song. There's a blues song. There's like a cabaret stripper song. There's so much. And then there's the beautiful, it sounds like a music box, and it's so diverse. And I was just, wow, this is amazing.
But, I think that everybody of us has many souls. And it's normal that if you are loved for something in particular, you go often in that direction. But I love the country music. I love the Beatles. Everybody knows that I was a Beatle maniac. I love Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach. I have many loves as everybody. So if, for example, there was a movie called Blast Fighter. It is a movie from Lamberto Bava that we did in the 80s. And he had come in the States to shot, and he came back and he asked me to do a cover of a song, Kenny Rogers, Evening Star. And we did a cover sang by a good singer, and we are preparing the LP. Is coming for the first time since then. And I was doing the editing, last month. And it's so beautiful with the, pedal steel guitar, instrument that I usually don't use in my. Now it's another piece of my body that I would like so much to do. And when we do Frizzi to Fulci, there is in the middle. I decided to put something very, very, very calm, before taking over with. And there are 6 songs that we wrote for Lucio in Quattro dell'Apocalisse. It was the first movie. It was a Western that we did with a good cast. And many people, basically in the United States, they love, obviously, it's the thing very strong, the prog music. But many people say, maybe the thing that I loved the best was when you sang. So, different souls in the same man. And I think in the same audience.
Have you seen the trophy that you're going to receive in Brooklyn?
It's really funny. I've seen the picture of Mark with the trophy. Now I'm so happy of that because it's funny. I will put it here in my house somewhere, and he will go on taking a look at me. Where are you? But the very important thing is that it's an award that they give. I think it's the fifth,
the fourth. I think it's
the fourth.
One, yeah.
And they give it to people that they think that are important for movie genres. And for me, it's really like having a battle, and you have something here.
Right.
I'm very happy because life is strange. I mean, it's the Fulci mania, and not only Fulci mania. I play music for. I played, and now I play music that I wrote for many other. But it's something quite recent. I mean, till the net, till 20 years ago, I had some friends who asked me, but it was so difficult. Nowadays, we are together. It seems we are in the same room now.
Yeah.
So it's my magic, and I love so much. Also, if my English will not become a good way to express myself.
Your English is better than my Italian. So that's fine.
Fair enough, yeah. So along those lines, though, because it is easier today to watch movies from all over the world.
Yeah.
But, what is it about the Fulci movies? Do you think resonated with people from all over the world even before people could easily see all these things?
Yeah, when I knew that, for example, Zombi was something very important around the world, in Japan, in America, I could not believe it because it's difficult to understand. Also because you are a lot younger than me. But 30 years ago, that is yesterday, Italy was Italy. Maybe France. I had some friends. Spain, England, but the United States. It was so far. It was a dream, not to do something like this, to communicate like this. So when I realized that Lucio, in the last years, Lucio lived. He understood this, and I'm very happy because Lucio was really a friend. I lost him for the last years because I just did come si chiamava Un gatto nel cervello, A Cat in the Brain. Then we lost the last 5 years. We just a few calls, but I think that the fact that he could understand before going away that people loved him so much all around the world, I think it's something really beautiful because it was strange for an Italian director, for an Italian musician, to understand that there is a way to go and tell stories and be appreciated. So this is really strange for us. Yeah, when I take the plane, I come there. It's something now. It's impossible, and people are there. For example, there are some places like the Hollywood Theater in Portland, in Oregon, 3 times full. And I'm so try to say why. No, but but in many places there are so many friends, so many. And this is why one artist live, I think, to know that somebody listen to his music, movie, and dream, and something dreams on this. I think it's the most beautiful thing we can live.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel to even just perform in front of an audience? I've heard that this is like a big high, that you get on the stage and there you are with your people and you're ready to do the thing and everybody's so excited and thrilled that you're there, and that it's like that is, you're in the moment, enjoying in a way that of course you enjoy your work and you enjoy this life, but such a unique part of that.
Absolutely agree with you. For example, the last thing, a few months ago, they invited us to the Death Fest in Maryland, Death Fest. And Death Fest is not a very, a very light way of doing music. They beat a lot. But Ryan told me, the boss told me, you are so loved from many of our fans that you have to come. And I came. And that is absolutely like you say. I was with my band. I told them, guys, 20, 30 people will be with us. We play, we are here. We are very happy. And it was full. And people was crazy. And the band before us, I met them in Detroit because they opened one of our concerts 2 years ago. Two fantastic guys, really. They went before us. Fabio Frizzi. I can tell you, I could not believe it. And we went out, and also the books, not the books, the records, the CD. They brought everything. They took everything. So now it was fun with people who could not believe, because I go on the stage and I play down. I mean, but people was excited, and we were so happy, really fantastic.
Obviously, you have great food in Italy, but when you come to other places like America, do you look for hey, this is something I can't get where I live?
I have to be careful, because when you go ahead, you must not eat too much. Also, if I love the food, but I think that a good hamburger is always a good hamburger. So. And there is another thing. I drink a lot of coffee.
I do too.
And over there the coffee it's light. You can drink, chin chin. You can drink really a lot. And now I'm well. I mean, maybe I could not live that way for months. Maybe, but it's fun. And then also, like in Italy, the place you go, so you find something different. For example, I think that over there maybe there is a good fish. Maybe I can imagine.
Yeah, on the Cape, a lot of fish. Yeah.
It's fantastic. So maybe I go around finding good places.
Right. Yeah, I was just in England, and I drink my coffee black. And no place had regular black coffee. They only had Americanos, which I was.
But you know what they do in Rome. Obviously, I take also espresso. It's okay. It's very hard, but there is a bar here in the area, and I went. They changed the composition. They changed the owners 5 months ago. So he comes. It's a Napolitan, and he says, "Fabio, what you?" I say, I usually drink Americano, caffè americano, and they bought a big una tazza, a mug like this, just for me. So when I arrive, but they don't do very well, because they do an espresso, then they add hot water. And it's not the same, No.
Yeah, I agree, actually. I like mine very strong, too. I'm half Italian. Maybe that's why.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to also ask, so I saw that you worked with Kadabra Records.
Yeah.
You make this Lovecraft thing, which I don't think you can get unless it's on vinyl. I've scoured. I found one track. I'm a huge Lovecraft fan. I just went to Providence for the HP Lovecraft Film Festival just weeks ago.
Wow.
So, which is great. If you ever have a chance, it's very enjoyable. So yeah, how was that? What do you think about it not being accessible by many people? Because a lot of people don't collect records or have access to that. But I'm so curious, and I feel like I, as a Lovecraft fan, and a fan of yours. I would love to have this, but do I have a record player?
Yeah. No, nowadays, the last 5 or maybe 10 years, the LP came back. I met Jonathan Dennison, the boss of Kadabra, because he was a fan of myself. He's a good guy. Now we are great friends, and now we will be there together around these days. And I knew Lovecraft in general because it's a great writer. It's somebody that everybody more or less knows. But we started the collaboration with that because Jonathan is one of the many situations in which the horror is in the culture. He loves to do, like when I met Rue Morgue many years ago, trying to conjugate the good horror with the good literature and everything. So I entered in that world, and I was fascinated because we did, I think, 4 things on the last was the one who talks about Christmas. But okay, the stories are are like scripts, and many directors and writers keep things from there. The thing I love of Lovecraft is that he's not so heavy. It's always something that you have inside, not so much blood. The first thing I did is the picture in the house. Maybe you know that. I find it fantastic. And the only the piece of blood is in the last moment when from upstairs on the book there is this. It was not water, he says. So I love this way, very very different. Today is blood, and also Lucio was a little bit blood. But I love so much, as I told you before, when you tell stories that get a hole in your stomach and enter, and Lovecraft is a genius in that. I also did some guitar pieces on some poems. He did just a few poems, but they're so strong, so really fantastic. So I have to say that Jonathan gave me something, and now I cannot do without.
I think the piece that it was Night Gaunts, and it was this. I think it was just you, the classical sounding guitar, and I was, this is lovely, and it works.
But in that situation, I did notturno with guitars, and it was my idea because it tells me I want to do something on the short. It was I think maybe 1 minute for each song, or maybe 1 and a half. So I told Jonathan it's difficult to do. And he said, "You do what you. I send you the words, the actors' words, and you work on this." And I had the idea. My love. Many people think that I am a keyboard player. Obviously, I play keyboard, but my first love was guitar, and I play guitar better. I am more guitarist than keyboardist. So I told to Riccardo Rocchi, my guitarist, I told him, "Do you want to play some weird things?" So I wrote a couple for 12 strings guitar, but played with hands always, and then maybe a couple for acoustic, and the other for classical. And I can I took a different way because I am a very classical musician, but in that way I was more modern. I tried to find another way of expressing myself. And in the end, just last week I was listening a couple, and I loved them so much. Okay. We will go to do a tour, a Lovecraft tour next week, because Jonathan found somebody who knows, and he said we go all day, maybe a couple of days around.
This is your Providence visit.
Yeah,
Lovecraft one.
Okay.
Yeah. You mentioned, guitar, keyboard, drums earlier. Are there any? What would you say is like the most unusual instrument you've used to get a correct sound?
But I was born in the sample moment, because when I started this, it was just only acoustic. But no, there is one story that maybe you know, but it's always nice to recall. we were doing, by the way, Zombi, and in that situation, the keyboard player was Maurizio Guarini. He did all keyboards for me. And when we did the theme, that one, the idea was an hymn, something very. But the idea was, as we say in Italian, la cassa in quattro, the bass drum in 4, like this. That day there wasn't a drums in the studio. It was so we could not have a. And he says we can try with the microphone, and that is absolutely true. That he took the microphone. With obviously with a metronome to have the perfect time. So in that situation, the bass drum is a microphone with the tapping of Maurizio.
Was that how it was recorded?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If you go to listen to it, it starts with that. Yeah. That is not a bass drum. Yeah,
it is very anxiety provoking because it's slow. It's so zombie-like. It's so slow, but it keeps. It's coming at you. Like it really is a feeling. It's coming at you.
And that was not a real instrument.
That's a wonderful.
What's a good tip for anyone out there who doesn't have a drummer? They can just bang on the. Did you have any a couple questions from Facebook?
I do have a few things. There is someone, Mike Bartley asked if there is a movie, or I would say a movie or whatever work that you passed up working on that you now regret passing up on.
I did not want to do
originally, and then you wish you would have after you said no.
No. But there are in a life like mine, there are many things that happen. Now, maybe one of the things that I was, the Black Cat by Lucio. Lucio told me, come in the Moviola in the studio, at the editing studio, and we started to do it. So I go there, and after some days he said, Fabio, I have a problem with the production. There is the music was done by Pino Donaggio, who is obviously a great musician. But when you have tested something that you like, it's quite difficult to change the place. But many things happened. I think that nowadays, really be few things, but now if somebody wants you, he can call you. Over there, it was another way of working. Every day I receive a beautiful situation. Fabio, and you can deal with them. Over there, it was you can go tomorrow there, and you had to do. Very different from today.
I also have Diablo Joe. He's one of our reviewers for the films that are coming out, and he asked somewhat of a similar question: is there a director who you've always longed to work with?
There are many. For example, I think that obviously Lamberto Bava had a great father, but when Mario Bava died, I was too young to work with him. But I think that the cinema of Mario was something that gave a push to many, Fulci included. So in our small Italian world, you can imagine that we often think to great American directors, no? And then there was a joke that there is the telephone that is ringing, and you say, no, it's a Spielberg. I don't want to answer. Something I did, jokes, because, but I have to say that when, for example, Eli, we met in LA, and he had everything of mine, and I told him, but why don't you call me for one of? No, but there are different worlds, but it's cool as well. Another I would like to work with is Refn. Come si chiama? Aspetta, Nicholas Refn. Maybe you don't know. It's a great horror giallo. He did Drive. Maybe.
Oh yeah, Drive's great. Yeah.
And I met him in Roma. No, I met him in Roma. The funny things, I was with one of my publishers. He says, we go to say hello because he loves you so much. He's young. I think he's 55. I don't know. So we go to Via Veneto, a good hotel, and we go to have breakfast together. So this is he's I think he's Danish. So we are nice to meet them. And then he says, you want to see how I love your music? Tell me. He gives me his phone, and it was full. There was everything I had written. And this is, but I don't work with him. And but I think that just this love is something very important, and it's enough.
Yeah. But no, Drive's great, very stylized, and that's very cool. But, yeah. Oh, by the way, what would be on Fabio's phone? What do you listen to when you're just sitting around?
I don't listen to a lot of music because it's an old habit. I listen to music when I want to listen. And I have many children, and since the older one now is 43, the youngest is 17, and they live their life in a tunnel of music. I think that music, I love to choose what to listen to. The other day I was on my, I don't remember how to tell in English, but when you walk and for half an hour and you do at home, tapis roulant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah, like that.
Okay, because it's difficult in English.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, well, Elton John. And I took Spotify and Elton John, and I listened for 5 or 6 songs. For example, one of my love is David Bowie. Bowie, I think it's one of the real genius of our time, and I love him so much. But many great artists there are. But he, for example, one of my colleague that passed away recently, and I love him so much, was Vangelis. Vangelis, that is not so. He must have been quite a difficult person, a weird person, because I think he should have done more than he did. But I think that when I think to Blade Runner, which is my movie, every time, because I take a look very often to that movie because I love it, and every time I say this is a genius, this is he had really a sensibility. Incredible, really incredible. So many beautiful artists, and every now and then something.
Yeah.
Do you or have you ever been a person who goes to concerts? Would you be at the Elton John concert?
No, Elton John never. I went. Elton John. Many friends went. I love him, but you can see also on the. there is something very interesting about Vangelis. But you know Vangelis, I think. Okay. Vangelis, Papatanasiou. Momenti di Gloria. Vangelis was very famous for keyboards. He played almost everything by himself. At the point that when Warner Brothers did a fantastic record with the Blade Runner, with the orchestra, with the arrangers, he was very upset because he did not want the.
Oh wow!
One day, but we say about maybe, I think 30 years ago, he comes to Roma in the center of Roma, all the Roman situation, and I take a friend of mine. We go to see Vangelis. And we arrive, it's incredible, where usually they do opera, so a huge place, you know? And there is something weird. There is, like if there were the traffic problems and the works, there was a...
like a barrier?
Exactly. Okay. So we sit and we say, he will arrive. So he arrives, he comes, applause, then he enters, and he plays for 2 hours without, we could see him. It was so weird. And because I think he was, so he did not want us people to catch his ideas. So in the end, he comes out and says, thank you so much.
So he was like a street performer.
Yeah.
Just out there doing his thing. That's amazing.
It was incredible.
Were people passing him, well, I don't know what a dollar would be called in Italy.
But like this, it was really, really, really crazy. But I think that often the great artists are also a little bit crazy, a little bit.
I just want to let everybody know for our friends in London that you'll be Halloween night, Frizzi de Fulci in London, which that sounds very exciting at the Union Chapel.
Yeah, we're going back there because we started there, in the 2013, 9 years ago, or almost 9 years ago. And we are going back in 1 month. That was really something I could not imagine, because my normal life in my normal city, which is not very normal, but anyway, because Roma, but a friend, I had the idea of dedicating to Lucio something, because I'm very grateful to him. I think that we are also here because of him, and also because he taught me a lot about my job, and I think I worked thanks to him so much. But okay. So this was an idea. I was some musician, I was some friends, some journalists, Italian, who helped me. In 2012, there is a discographic, an English who writes to me on the net and say, do you want to come to do a concert in London? Concert in London, me. The thing goes ahead. The suggestion of going in a church was genial, because on Halloween we get there, almost 1,000 people, crazy, totally crazy. Many dressed with the Lucio characters. You cannot imagine. It was like a party, 2 hours party with the band, with the people, and after party, fantastic. And then I understood that could be something to bring around. And we go back. Times are different, because, 10 years ago, it was better than now. Now we have a lot of problems all over the world. When I speak with other friends in the States, I feel that they are more or less like we are in Italy, in France. We are... we have a lot of fear for the moment. It's not easy to program, but this year, after 2 years of prison, we try to go back to life, and this is why I came, and I am coming again in the States, and I'm so happy about this. And then we go we go in London for Halloween, and the first date of our Frizzi to Fulci life in Belgium. We go to Brussels in November. So let's try to enlarge the idea and the audience as is possible.
Yeah, they will love it.
It's very exciting. Annabelle and I will both be in Boston to see you.
I'm very, very happy. I think that we can really enjoy. I told it so much today that you have to learn a little bit Italian to talk to me.
All right. I think that's fair enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Neal is part Italian.
Yeah. I'm half Italian, so yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my father's side is Italian. Yeah.
So if I say come stai?
Day is their name.
He's the one. He's much more under pressure than I am.
Fantastico.
Fabio Frizzi, I think that's how you say it. Yeah.
Fabio Frizzi, bravo, esatto. But you know that sometimes when I talk about the title, I say it in English in English way, Frizzi to Fulci, while usually as Frizzi to Fulci, you know?
Right.
I try to to translate.
When I was trying to pronounce that. With the Kadabra Records, I was looking at it last night. What is it? I don't know about that. So I'm just going to say Kadabra, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
No, Kadabra is the same, but we say Kadabra while you say Kadabra, which is a little bit different.
How can people follow you to see what you're up to? They could probably just put in Fabio Frizzi and they'll find you.
No, but you know, I am almost everywhere. I mean, I have a couple of pages. No, I have a couple of personal situation on Facebook, then one page, then a Frizzi to Fulci page. And then I am just as Fabio Frizzi on Instagram. And I did not believe so much in that. I thought it was something for children or for young people, but nowadays I must say that it's very useful. It's you must learn a little bit the mechanism, but it's funny. I enjoy a lot.
It's a good way to keep up with people that you don't get to see regularly.
Yeah, but for example, just to say, there is an American band, rock, very hard rock, called BAT. Who wrote to me over there because they were in Baltimore, and they asked me for a small collaboration for the new album, and we did it. So cool. Yeah, no, it's really cool because now it's easy. If you are, I mean, I love to be with people to exchange ideas. So it's something can happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I even just got on TikTok recently, but
I've been there. I never did till now. We will see.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
Very good at doing foolish things. I bet Neal, TikTok, he will be a sensation.
Well, this has been wonderful to talk with you.
And wonderful. Yeah, and excellent.
And I hope you have a nice rest of your time here today, and have a safe travels to America.
Thank you. Think of me on Sunday morning. It's Italia. We arrive near you because the flight is Roma. Is from Rome to Boston. Right. Then we have another flight because the TV show is near New York. So
I see. That'll probably be a really short flight.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably about a 40-minute flight. Yeah.
See, it's not so much. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
And now we're going to study up on our Italian so we can talk to you a little bit in Boston.
Okay, absolutely. It would be. Now consider that we will be all day, I think, at the theater because it's the only show that we do this time in America. So we have to plan to rehearse a little bit and we have to enter. Okay.
Yeah, we won't be too annoying. So.
Ok, no, assolutamente. Ciao Neal, ciao Annabelle.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you very much. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao. Bye.
Ciao. See you.